And we are rolling. Welcome to Fin TV, everybody. Thank you for joining me. I really do appreciate that. I got 14 stories for you today, 10 big ones and 4 kind of small ones. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell, please. I would really appreciate that. And if you're on Twitch, don't forget that if you have Amazon Prime, you have Twitch Prime. You have Twitch Prime. You have Twitch Prime. If you have Amazon Prime, you have Twitch Prime, give me your subscription, please. I really appreciate that. And without any further ado, let's get to the gaming news that you need to know. So, starting off today, we're kind of dealing with the fallout and kind of a recap of everything that went down yesterday. We had a bunch of people get laid off from Microsoft, and we're starting off with Sean Carey over at trueachievements.com. Microsoft loses industry veterans following job cuts and cancellations. Following the news of game cancellations and layoffs, Microsoft is losing top talent from ZeniMax and, according to the new report, Rare. We went over the ZeniMax stuff yesterday. We did not go over what's happening with Rare. So, you know what I didn't do today, you guys, is get my B-roll ready. I forgot to get my B-roll ready. So I'm going to be doing that on the fly. That's awesome. That is really awesome. Let me do that really quick. Just a second. Okay. There we go, you guys. Sorry about that. So, we have here from Sean Carey at True Achievements. Microsoft loses industry veterans following job cuts and cancellations. As part of the fallout from Microsoft's recent job cuts and game cancellations, it appears Microsoft is losing some industry veterans who have been at their respective studios for decades. ZeniMax online head leaves studio, and Greg Mayles reportedly leaves Rare. We got a bullet point. Microsoft recently announced mass layoffs, canceled multiple projects, and shut down Studio The Initiative. Those are the guys behind the new Perfect Dark game that's been canceled. And then we got ZeniMax Online Studio boss Matt Fiore has announced his departure from the studio after an unannounced ZeniMax game was canceled. Last bullet point we have here, it's reported that Sea of Thieves and Banjo-Kazooie director Greg Mayles has also left Rare after 35 years. Yesterday, over 9,000 workers across various divisions at Microsoft lost their jobs, including staff in Microsoft's gaming division, Xbox. As a result, Microsoft shut down the initiative and canceled Perfect Dark. It also canceled Rare's Everwild, an unannounced MMORPG from ZeniMax. Now, ZeniMax Online Studios head Matt Fiore has announced he is leaving the studio later this month, and new report suggests Rare's Greg Mayles, who has worked on nearly 30 games at the developer, is leaving the company. On top of Fiore's, I don't know if I've been saying his name right. It's either Fiore or Fiore. On top of Fior's departure, VGC reports that following the cancellation of Everwild, executive producer Lewis O'Connor is leaving Rare, and so too is legendary designer Greg Mayles. Mayles has spent more than 35 years at Rare, heading up games such as Banjo-Kazooie, Banjo-Tooie, Viva Pinata, and Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts. He also served as creative director for Sea of Thieves. Yikes. Moving on to kind of story number 2, but just kind of continuing everything. We have from Victoria Phillips over at Eurogamer. Sea of Thieves and Banjo-Kazooie director Greg Mayles reportedly leaving Rare after 35 years. Rare's most seasoned creator, Greg Mayles, known for directing the likes of Banjo-Kazooie and Sea of Thieves, as well as his work on Donkey Kong 64 and many more games, is reportedly leaving the studio after more than 35 years. Word of Mayles' departure comes in the wake of layoffs across Microsoft yesterday, which saw Rare's fantasy adventure Everwild canceled. Mayles had been directing the project for several years. According to VGC sources, along with Mayles, executive producer Lois O'Connor will also leave Rare. O'Connor has been with the studio since 1999. Her first project with Rare being the 1964 release Conker's Bad Fur Day. Eurogamer has asked Microsoft for comment on Mayles and O'Connor's reported departures. Yesterday, following rumors of Everwild's cancellation, Xbox exec Mac Booty sent a memo to the staff where he confirmed the game's end. We already went over this memo yesterday. Yesterday's layoffs are yet another blow to Xbox, which has been the subject of multiple redundancies and studio closures over the past years. In May, Xbox cut 3% of its total workforce, which at the time was the biggest loss of staff since 2023. Moving on, we are continuing what's going on over at Xbox. We got Jordan Middler over at VGC. John Romero's next FPS has lost funding in the wake of the Microsoft cuts. Romero Games says it's exploring its options for its unannounced FPS. This is the guy, the original creator of Doom, if I remember correctly. So, in a statement from Brenda Romero, the studio announced that last night we learned that our publishers have canceled funding for our games, along with several other unannounced projects at other studios. We have a excerpt from the quote from yesterday from Microsoft. Quote, "This was a strategic decision made at a high level within the publisher, well above our visibility of control. We deeply wish there had been something, anything we could have done to prevent this outcome." Oh no, okay, yeah, that was a quote from Brenda Romero. Yeah. Following this statement, Christoph Redl, a former hard surface artist at Romero Games, took to social media to say that, quote, "Due to the recent Xbox layoffs, I've lost my position at Romero Games," end quote, seemingly confirming that the unnamed publisher from the original statement was Microsoft Game Studios. And then we have a few updates here. So a Romero Game employee has claimed that the whole studio, quote unquote, is being let go as a result of Microsoft's cuts, with many advertising on LinkedIn that they've lost their job. Quote, "Today I have found out our whole studio is being let go because of the layoffs at Microsoft," end quote, wrote one artist on the platform. Quote, was devastated to hear this morning that Romero Games is closing due to the cutbacks from the publisher, meaning for the second time this year, I'm looking for a new role, end quote, wrote another. A designer at Romero called the cuts from Microsoft, quote, massive, sudden, and unexpected hit on a project that was innovative, going strong, and most importantly, fun, end quote. They added, quote, the past 2 years have been amazing. Working with everybody on it was an absolute blast, and I will forever keep close all of the moments and memories we've shared. It's all a shame we won't be able to see it through, end quote. Romero Games statement continues by saying, quote, this absolutely isn't a reflection on our team's work, performance, or the quality of the project itself. We hit every milestone on time, every time, consistently received high praise, and easily passed all our internal gates. End quote. Another quote, we're currently evaluating next steps and working quickly to support our team. Many of us worked together for more than a decade, some for more than 20 years. It's an extremely difficult day and we're heartbroken it's come to this. End quote. Romero Games is based in Galway, Ireland. The team, which included over 75 developers in 2024, hadn't fully revealed its next project beyond the fact it was a first-person shooter made in Unreal Engine 5. What a damn shame. What a damn shame. Now, moving on, this is our... No, we have, after this, we still have a couple more updates kind of related to Microsoft, but this is the last major one related to all the Microsoft stuff. So this one is just a rumor. This is kind of a rumor circulating. It started here on X. So we got here from on X from the Ghost of Hope. We have this insider scoop, this tweet from Ghost of Hope here. Exclusive. Phil Spencer will be retiring from his role as CEO of Microsoft Gaming after the launch of the next generation Xbox. Phil Spencer is working closely with Sarah Bond and her team to ensure a smooth transition for her takeover as CEO of Microsoft Gaming once he retires. Unclear as of yet who would take over as president of Xbox when Sarah Bond becomes the CEO of Microsoft Gaming. So, you guys heard that right. There is a rumor that Phil Spencer will be retiring after the launch of the next generation of Xbox. Moving on, we have Mind's Eye. You get some B-roll here. Sorry about this, you guys. I totally should have had this B-roll ready. Totally just blew over my mind to get this B-roll ready. So we got Mind's Eye over here, and things are not looking good. Still not looking good. What's up, Scott? We're just going over the news for today. We are on story number 5. We got story number 5 over here. Mind's Eye will be relaunched as CEO blames saboteurs. Almost, Biggie, almost. It has been suggested by Build a Rocket Boy CEO Leslie Benzies that Mind's Eye, the shamed failure of a game that was released last month, will be relaunched as reviews continue to plummet. It has also been claimed by BARB employees Build a Rocket Boy employees that the CEO once again blamed saboteurs for the demise of Mind's Eye, echoing something his co-CEO said several weeks ago. That is so crazy. This guy is blaming internal saboteurs for his terrible game reviewing badly. Like, man, you made a terrible game. That's why it's reviewing badly, not because of saboteurs. Crazy. In the days after Mind's Eye was released, it became regarded by the numbers as the worst rated game of 2025. Oh yeah, but that's the saboteurs, whatever the hell that is. In statements obtained by IGN, it was claimed that Leslie Benzies, former president of Rockstar North, addressed the company following the harrowing release of Mind's Eye. In some ways, Mind's Eye was touted as being a GTA killer, but what was produced fell flat, drastically fast, and became a laughing stock of the industry. It's crazy. Even Alex Hernandez, the game's lead performer, suggested games should never launch in an unfinished state. Here's what was taken from IGN's report. Build a Rocket Boy sources told IGN that Benzies finally addressed staff following the release of Mind's Eye in a brief video call yesterday. According to two people present who asked not to be named in order to protect their careers, Benzies insisted Bring a Rocket Boy would bounce back and relaunch Mind's Eye, blaming the studio and the game's struggles on internal and external saboteurs, amongst other things. That is so fucking wild. In May, Mark Gerhard, the co-CEO of Build a Rocket Boy, went on record suggesting that people were being paid to talk negatively about Mind's Eye. When he was asked if someone was financing all the negative feedback, he said 100%. Recently, vast swaths of the workforce at Build a Rocket Boy advertised a risk of redundancy on social media. Dozens of employees popped up on LinkedIn to stress their roles are at a precipice, adding extra strain to the industry, which has just been hit by Microsoft's 9,000 strong wave of redundancies. Do you think Mind's Eye can be successfully relaunched after a stack of updates? Hell no. That game is doomed. There is no relaunch of that game. Absolutely not. Absolutely not, you guys. That is crazy. So, moving on. We got Helldivers in the news, you guys. So, Scott, so we got Scott saying this is the game I'm watching you're talking about. Exactly. Yeah. What you were watching there was the game that I'm talking about. Exactly. So next, the next thing we got, I believe this is where we at. We are at story number 7, I believe. Story number 7, we got Helldivers. Helldivers is coming to Xbox. Do you know what Helldivers is, Scott? It's pretty cool that it's coming to Xbox. All right, you guys. So, story number 7. We got this from Connor Makar over at Eurogamer.net. Helldivers 2 is coming to Xbox Series X and S in August as first Sony published game on the platform. Helldivers 2 is officially coming to Xbox Series X and S on the 26th of August. This announcement came via a Helldivers announcement stream. Arrowhead's hit third-person shooter will have full crossplay with both PC and PlayStation. Those interested can pre-order the game on the Xbox Store for $34.99 now. Very cool. Helldivers 2 coming to Xbox. That's a big deal. I don't know if I'm gonna play. I'm kind of over wanting to play it. You know, I'm probably gonna be into Arc Raiders. When is this coming out again? August. This is gonna be out before Arc Raiders, but I don't know. I struggle to see myself fitting this game in with everything else I'm playing, but I know that this is gonna be a big deal for a lot of people. So very cool. Moving on. What's up, Throwaway? Yeah, that is very interesting that Helldivers is coming to Xbox. That's good. It's a good thing. Moving on, though, we got Dying Light. More canceled games. More canceled games, you guys. So we got this from Jordan Middler over at VGC. Dying Light developer Techland has reportedly canceled 2 games. The Polish developer has reported losses of 130 million Polish zloty, approximately 37.3 million US dollars, according to Polish business outlet Pulse Biznesu. These losses have been attributed to our decision to discontinue further work on 2 projects. It is currently unclear which projects have been affected. VGC has asked Techland for comment. So, a couple more games being canceled from Techland. We don't know what they are, so we're kind of limited onto what we got, but, you know, a couple more games canceled. You hate to hear it. That is unfortunate. Moving on, we got Anthem in the news, you guys. Anthem. Things are not looking good for Anthem at all. I have I believe Throwaway has played. I've never played Anthem, but Throwaway has. He's kind of a fan of it. But so this is bad news for you. We got Darren Bonthais over at GameSpot. EA's Anthem shutting down entirely, will be unplayable starting next year. Anthem was designed to be, EA has announced that Anthem servers will be sunset on January 12th, 2026, effectively making the game unplayable. Anthem was designed to be an online-only title, so once the servers go online, the game will no longer be playable. EA said in an update, if you previously purchased Anthem, the game can be downloaded from a digital library and played until January 12th, 2026. And then after that, guess what? You can't play it anymore. You bought this game and they're yoinking it from the servers, and it's an online-only game, so you can't play it anymore. Effective January 12th, 2026, the purchase that you made is no longer playable. You cannot use the thing that you purchased. Thanks, EA. And last of our big news, this one is a real bummer. Very sad. But we got, whoops. Throwaway says that I'm reading something wrong. What do you think I'm reading wrong? What I just, this news story about EA yoinking their game? No, I'm not reading that wrong. They have their quote themselves. This is a quote from them. Listen to this quote from EA themselves. Listen, you got to listen to this, okay? So yes, they're getting away with stealing people's money. This is a quote from them, from EA. Anthem was designed to be an online only title. So once the servers go offline, the game will no longer be playable. Anthem was designed to be an online only title. And January next year, they're yoinking it from the servers. So the game that you bought is no longer playable. Yes, that's really happening. That's not, I didn't read that wrong. That's really happening. And that's happened for multiple games. I'll give you a list of all the games that's happened to. I was considering putting this on the news, but it's not really news. It's kind of just a list. So I took it out, but I'll go over the list for you. But let me just go over this last story. It's insane. It really is. So our last story for today, this is a sad one. We got Reservoir Dogs and Kill Bill star Michael Madsen dies aged 67 from cardiac arrest. Michael Madsen, who starred, this comes from Wesley Yinpool over at IGN. Michael Madsen, who starred in Quentin Tarantino movies Reservoir Dogs and Kill Bill, has died aged 67 from cardiac arrest. NBC reported that Madsen was found dead at his Malibu home on Thursday morning, according to his manager, Ron Smith. Very sad to hear. You will be missed. So let me find this article for one of my viewers here of a list of games that have been sunsetted. Games that people have bought or bought things in, because some of them are free, and these games have just been sunsetted. So you can't do anything with them anymore. You can't even play them because they're online only games. Where was it? Here we go. So this one's crazy. Now I'm reacting. This is an article actually from 2024 on GameSpot from Eddie McCouch. Concord is shutting down after 2 weeks, but is it that unprecedented? This is basically a list of games that have been shut down anywhere from a month to a year to a few years after release, and now all these games are shut down. So we got, to start this list, we got Battleborn, released, developed by Borderlands studio Gearbox and published by 2K. Battleborn had a lot of excitement and hype behind it, but the game did not pay off. Launched in 2016 as a premium game, Battleborn struggled in the market, in part because another game, Blizzard's Overwatch, came out weeks later and ate its lunch. Released May 2016, server shutdown January 2021. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that lasted about 5 years. That's a longer one on this list. We got Crucible. Amazon Games didn't exactly hit the ground running. That hit the ground and like exploded on impact. With its gaming efforts. As one of the company's first big releases, Crucible didn't live long and had an odd development history. The free-to-play arena shooter became available to download in May 2020 for PC, but due to a variety of reasons, Amazon opted to revert it back to a closed beta in June 2020. And after that, so 1 month later, it never came back online publicly. It released in May. It lasted 1 month and then they reverted it back to open beta because it wasn't going well, and it just never came back online. Lawbreakers. After leaving Epic Games, Gears of War designer Cliff Bleszinski started a new studio, Boss Key, which produced the new arena shooter Lawbreakers with Nexon as its first title. Unfortunately for Bleszinski and company, the game failed to find an audience. It released August 2017, server shut down September 2018. You bought this game, or if it was free, you might have bought some skins. Guess what? Yoink. Fuck everything you purchased in this game. Yoinking it. It's not yours anymore. And they have the rights to do that. Next, Radical Heights. After the failure of Lawbreakers, Boss Key shifted its sights to the burgeoning battle royale market with Radical Heights. But this game also never broke out. Radical Heights felt to some like a half-baked experiment rather than a game people might feel compelled to return again and again to again and again. This game released April 2018 and the server shut down completely September 2018. It lasted a few months. Next, this one is what we went over today, Anthem. So they updated this article. Esteemed RPG studio BioWare released a live service game called Anthem in 2019, but it failed to attract a wide enough player base. EA and BioWare reportedly considered rebooting the game with new systems to attract and retain more players, but EA officially announced in February 2021 that Anthem would not get more development support and staffers would shift to other projects. Anthem servers remain online as of September 2024, so anyone enjoying the game still has something to play. But Anthem would never reach its full potential and will not be remembered among BioWare's greatest hits. Released February 2019. Oh, okay, this wasn't updated, and as we went over today, Anthem will be yoinked from the servers January 2026. You bought Anthem, you buy anything in it, it's gone for good. Next, Knockout City. The Dodge Brawl game Knockout City from Velan Studios had a fun concept and an engaging gameplay loop, along with the backing of publisher Electronic Arts, EA. However, Knockout City failed to find an audience or enough sales to sustain its ongoing live service model. Released May 2021, server shut down, official servers closed in June 2023. So this one lasted a couple years. And this list goes on. I can keep going. I'm not going to keep going, but this list goes on. There's a lot of games. And then at the end of the list, oh, you guys are looking at many more. That's crazy. Lots of games fucking just yoink themselves. Absolutely wild. Last thing I have here for you guys now is a few smaller stories that I'm just gonna rapid hit you guys with. We got Call of Duty World War II in the news. Call of Duty World War II player. This comes from Cade Onder over at comicbook.com. Call of Duty World War II players say the game is not safe after coming to Xbox Game Pass. Call of Duty fans are warning those who are interested in playing Call of Duty World War II through Xbox Game Pass on PC to avoid playing the game entirely. Hackers are running rampant and are even using RCE exploits to remotely gain control of people's machines, which is obviously extremely dangerous. People are reporting that the hackers are using this to shut down other people's PCs, type on their notepad, and open pornography on their computer. While there hasn't been any reports of these people using the remote access to steal anything, you can never be too safe. Others fear that these hackers could put malware on people's computers or cause other kinds of harm to people, so be vigilant. Wild. Do not play Call of Duty World War II on PC Game Pass. Just don't do it. Not worth it. Moving on, we got Call of Duty leaks reveals a divisive Fortnite future is on the way. This comes from Alex Trent over at comicbook.com. A new data mine has revealed a possible upcoming audio visualizer feature that has some Call of Duty fans up in arms. This potential feature could see the classic multiplayer shooter franchise starting to feel and play more like Fortnite than ever. A testament to the popular battle royale franchise's enduring influence in the multiplayer shooter space. Ex-user AllyX, who regularly posts on potential Call of Duty changes, detailed findings in the game code. AllyX found evidence of an alleged audio visualizing feature that could aid players in detecting sound such as other players' footsteps while in game. So what this is in Fortnite, if you're not using like a headset and there's people like enemies walking around you, over by your health bar in the middle, it'll show you like a little audio visualizer, like bars, like EQ bars bouncing that are reacting to the noise of people's footsteps or picking up ammo far away from you. So if you don't have a headset, you can kind of use that to know if there's people around you. And what is being said here is that Call of Duty is going to add that, and people aren't happy about that. Moving on. We got Xbox losing 6 games in July 2025. Those games are Flock, Mafia Definitive Edition, Magical Delicacy, Tachia, The Callisto Protocol, The Case of the Golden Idol. That came from Sean Carey over at True Achievements. And my last story for you guys today, we got Dandadan. I had to add Dandadan in here. This is coming from Paul Tassi over at Forbes. Dandadan Season 2 arrives with a stunning Rotten Tomatoes score. In a rare case of arriving very, very close to its last season, Dandadan has returned for Season 2 8 months after Season 1 aired. As it stands with a limited amount of reviews in, Dandadan has a 100% Rotten Tomatoes score from critics. If you think that may change when movie reviews come in with double the number of Season 1, it still had a perfect 100% then, along with 93% audience score. I don't know why it's hard for me to understand the way he just wrote that. But anyway, that's my last story of the day, you guys. Dandadan is doing amazing. Dandadan is back. Go watch Season 2 over on Netflix or Hulu or Crunchyroll, wherever. It's amazing. I saw the movie and I loved it. That's what we got for today, you guys. Thanks for tuning in to FinTV123. I really do appreciate that. I'm going to go ahead and end it there. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell, and don't forget that if you have Amazon Prime, you have Twitch Prime, you have Twitch Prime, you have Twitch Prime. Give me your Twitch subscription if you have Amazon Prime. All right, you guys. I'll see you later. Bye.